Pre-watch thoughts. Deca-Dence is a sci-fi action-adventure from a studio called Nut. After reading its description, I am reminded of the movie Up. The two main characters live in a fortress in the sky, one being a younger person with a positive attitude, and an older person who is more of a realist. This is the first show since got out of high school I have a feeling will be good, but I've yet to watch it. So, let's see how it is. Summary. We open with a ghost town. There are some explorers and a little girl named Natsumi, who is this guy's daughter. A monster attacks them, and they try getting away, but they get into a tragic car accident.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Luckily, an ambulance comes in the middle of the ensuing fight with the monster to pick up Natsumi and take her home. Her dad's like, "Don't worry, I'll be back." But worry, because he never came back. Cut to the orphanage that Natsumi has been staying at the past few years. The children at the orphanage give us the backstory of the entire show. Many years ago, monsters called Goldolls? I don't like the name, we're just gonna call them goblins. Monsters called goblins killed 90% of Earth's population, and the remaining people came together and built a giant tank that roams around on the surface. Yeah, that's right. When I read the description, when they said 3,000 meter high fortress, I thought they meant 3,000 meters in the air, not 3,000 meters tall. There's two races of people, tankers, which are the remnants of the human civilization. There's also a race called gears, and they make up a majority of the military because they're like a race of warriors. This group of orphans, which Natsumi is a part of, has now become old enough to get their first jobs on the tank. Natsumi wanted to join the military, but her enlistment was refused. She ends up having to join a department called armor repair. We meet her boss, Mr. Kaburagi, but because when I record this, I keep accidentally calling him Kaburagi, I'm just gonna call him Raggy for short. Time passes through a work montage, and one day, Raggy leaves his water skin at work. So Natsumi brings the water skin over to Raggy's house and is like, "Hey man, listen, I went through the trouble of bringing back your water skin. How about we have a little welcoming party, you and me? I already have all the food and drinks, you just gotta eat it with me." Raggy begrudgingly accepts. Then his pet goblin gets out, but no worries, it's just a little smooshy boy. Apparently, Raggy never named the little guy, so Natsumi calls him Pipe in honor of it bringing her a pipe. Oh, now that's clever. What occurs next all happens within a span of 60 seconds. We get a shot from Raggy's point of view. What is all this extra stuff in his vision? Then we cut to a drunk guy walking down an alley. I don't know why he falls down and dies. Then Raggy comes over and pokes him with something, and then a voice in Raggy's head says, "Hey, your bug recovery rate is really low." I wouldn't say I'm confused. I'd just say I'm very lost. Why should I care about any of these things that are happening? It's like the show decided, hey, why don't we tell a completely different story now? And then we cut back to Raggy and Natsumi chilling on the armor like none of this just happened. Oh look guys, it's a giant goblin. Oh no guys, they're falling off the armor. Oh don't worry guys, they're fine because reasons. Oh, and don't worry, Raggy's an expert with military gear for some reason. Don't worry about that giant goblin, guys, because the giant tank can turn into a fist and rocket punch. Then the episode ends by showing us like a little city of robot people. We've never seen robot people before, so I am yet again lost. My impression. I want to like this show. It looks nice a lot of the time. The dynamic between Raggy and Natsumi is nice. My inner little boy sees that giant tank and thinks it's one of the coolest things ever. I think the best way to describe this show is with a little story. Imagine it's like America's Got Talent. A guy comes out there and he starts singing, and the singing's like pretty dang good. You're like, wow, that's amazing. But then like halfway through the song, he just stops singing, pulls out some bowling pins and starts juggling. What is happening? Why is he juggling now? And then he like stops juggling after only a little bit, and then he goes back to singing, and you're like, well, this song is still good. And then he ends the song, he pulls out the bowling pins and does a singular juggle. When you're trying to entertain someone, whether it's your act for America's Got Talent or your big budget show, you have to integrate the facets of what you're trying to do smoothly. If you stop singing and start juggling, it kind of ruins the mood of the rest of the song. And if you decide to end the show with not the song, but with you juggling one last time, I'm not like, oh boy, I wonder if he's gonna juggle again next time. I'm thinking, man, are they gonna be able to integrate all these things together next time? But I don't really care enough to find out. I'd rather watch something I know is gonna be good. My rating. Now, where do we put this guy? He's definitely not as good as Demon King Academy, Got a High School, or Rent a Girlfriend, but he's not as bad as superheroes. So we're gonna say that Deca-Dence is a 2 out of 3. There you go, little guy. Maybe you'll do better next episode. You never know. Anyway, that's about it. See ya, I guess.